What is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? It's your boy Goblin, and today we're coming in with another Hoot and Holler story video. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Drop a like if you do. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and also don't forget to check out the new merch available now at goblin420.com. Before we dive into the video, though, I got an important message for all my aspiring drug dealers in the audience. This video is brought to you guys by Narco Wars, the newest dope dealing simulator on Steam. You're a dealer in 1990s New York with one goal: get as rich as possible in 1 month. With coke, LSD, weed, whatever's hot, buy low and sell high for huge profits. You start with only $2,000 and one goal: to dominate the New York drug trade. Head over to Narco Wars in the link in the description below or in the pinned comment and wishlist it on Steam today. This game's coming very soon, and I know you degenerates watching this are gonna want to play it. Big thanks to my friends at Narco Wars. Don't forget to add it to your Steam wish list. Without further ado, let's dive right into the video. Now listen, today's story is a very fun one. This is one that I'm excited to share because this is one of my favorite ways that I've ever gotten weed money in my life. You see, I ended up having to steal a dog for weed money. This happened quite a while ago, but I'll never forget it. You see, this took place with my good friend Michael, who many of you guys who watch my videos are probably very familiar with. For those of you that are new around here, Michael was a longtime friend of mine, and we were pretty close back in high school. We hung out a lot in particular because I dropped out of high school, and he never showed up to begin with. So it was a very good pairing because all of us had a bunch of free time and absolutely no morals, so we would find a way every day to get our money to get stoned. Now, on this particular day, it started off like any other. You know, I had already planned to go over to Michael's. We had indicated that we wanted to link up, no big deal. So I cruised on over to Michael's, and we were in a predicament that we found ourselves in pretty often. You see, I would go over there, and pretty routinely, we would have to get crafty ways to get our weed money, whether it was just going to the grocery store and stealing something and selling it, or whether it was, you know, whatever we had to do, we would get it done. However, when I got to Michael's on this particular day, he proposed to me a very, very unique idea. You see, I guess he had been cooking up this plot for a little while, and he just needed some extra hands, and I was those extra hands. Pretty much as soon as I got there, he's telling me, he's like, dude, my dad's dog had a bunch of puppies. Like, we should go see him later, you know, let's go check him out. At the beginning of this, you know, I was never informed of his true intentions going to see the dogs. However, once we got there, I was like, you know, yeah, I'm pretty down for this plot. But at first he was just pitching it to me like, yeah, dude, you know, my dad's dog had some puppies, you know, they're kind of cute. Let's go take a look at them later. So we chill at Michael's crib for a little bit. We didn't really have any weed. I brought over, I think, maybe a 10 sack, because I remember we smoked like a pencil blunt. I'm talking a .3 blunt. Listen, some of y'all might know the struggle, all right? You got less than half a gram left. You want to smoke a whole blunt, though. You got 3 heads waiting to tap it. What do? You roll a pointer. You roll the saddest little swisher you've ever seen. You're double layering the wrap, wrapping the wrap around itself just because you don't have enough weed to fill it up all the way. That's the position we were in. So there was a level of desperation to this situation. I want you guys to understand, all right? I'm not going around maliciously kidnapping animals for weed money. However, this situation actually worked out pretty well. We'll get to that in a little bit. For all parties, by the way, including the dog. But either way, we're chilling out, and we smoke our god-awful little pointer blunt, little pencil blunt, and after that, we hop in my car and pretty much go directly over to Michael's dad's house. He was pitching it like, yeah, we could chill there, you know, all good. Little did I know that I had walked into the bait and switch. I had walked into the trap. You see, if Michael had pitched this crazy-ass idea to me from the get-go, I don't know if I 100% would have been down. But as I was already in the car and on the way there, at this point, it was too late to go back. So we get to Michael's house, Michael's dad's house, pardon me, and we realize pretty quickly that there's nobody there, which I guess Michael already knew about. He's like, yeah, I don't think my dad's going to be back for a few hours. We're like, that's cool, we can chill. So we go around the back, and I should have known something was up, because this dude, he does not just like go in the back door. Michael, you see, he kind of lived with his dad, but he didn't have keys to the place. So Michael goes through a fucking window. I guess when he had left there the, day before, whenever before, someone left the fucking window unlocked because this guy knew exactly which one to go in and he just went for it. So he goes in the window and then I go through the window after, and now we're standing in his dad's crib and I immediately hear the dog barking. Now, his dad had quite a few dogs. If I remember correctly, not even considering the puppies, he already had like 3 or 4 dogs that were full size, full grown, big ass fucking dogs. His dad was not playing around with this shit. But either way, we climbed through the window and we finally go over. They had this little like corral area corner. It was like just a series of dog gates set up against a corner pretty much. And in the corner was just this big dog. I don't even remember the dog's name, but it was a pretty cute dog. It was like some sort of pit bull and like it wasn't a pure pit bull. That's all I remember him telling me. It was like a pit bull and something else. But it was a cute ass dog, right? And right next to the dog is this fucking squadron of puppies, dude. I don't know how many it was. I think it was probably at least like 5, I'd say. But it was a good amount of them, bro. I mean, it looked like a zombie apocalypse, bro. They're like crawling over this fucking dog and shit. It was a lot going on in this corner. It kind of smelled like shit in the corner. Just not a great situation. Now, once we're looking at the puppies for a little bit, we start pulling a couple out and playing with them. Now, at this point, I still was not informed of the plot to steal a dog. I just thought that Michael had, like, free access to these dogs. I was like, yeah, these are his dogs too, whatever, you know? So we grab one of these puppies and we're like playing with him a little bit and we pull a couple more out of the thing and we move the dog gate. So now like the mom dog and all the puppies are like fucking around playing. And there's one in particular that Michael kind of keeps in his lap, kind of keeps it on him. And I'm sitting there and we're chatting even about the weed money while we're there. And still at this point, he never told me that this was our source of weed money. I asked him, I was like, so what's the play for today? Like, how are we getting high? You know, should we go to like get some liquor or something? What's the play? He's sitting there and he's like, oh, I don't know. I think I got like 10 or 20 bucks back at the crib. Like maybe we could figure something out, you know, just kind of brushing off the real plan that was in motion here. So we're just chilling at his dad's crib, playing with the dogs, having a pretty fun time, honestly. And Michael finally gives me a bit of a scoop into what the play here is. He's like, yo, how much you think we could sell one of these dogs for? And I'm sitting there and I'm like, I don't know, bro, like $50, you know? I mean, I feel like people don't normally buy dogs unless they're like, you know, purebred and they got like certificates and shit. Otherwise, like, bro, we going to the pound. Are you kidding me? My cats, I got my shit for free, you know? Like we going to the pound, my boy. So I'm like, I don't know, like maybe $50, and he's just like, you know, like he doesn't really say any further. He's just like, huh. So after sitting there in pretty much silence for maybe like 4 or 5 minutes after that comment, he's like, yo, let's go back to my crib. Like, I think we can get some weed. Without even asking if the dog could come along, he gets up. We put all the puppies back in the little corner. We put the gate back up with the mom dog, except for the one puppy that he had been holding in his lap pretty much the whole time. That one was still with him. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, you taking that one with? He's like, yeah, I'm going to just take it back to my crib. Realistically, these dogs were probably far too young for this to be happening, but at the time, I did not know. You know, I'm not a big dog expert. You know, I have cats, bro. I own 2 cats. All right, but either way, he's like, yeah, the dogs weren't like so young that they couldn't function. I mean, they were like making little barks and like running around. You know, I don't know. I mean, they're fine. They're fine. All right, listen, not my dog. They're fine. All right, listen. I was strung along for this plan, okay? Either way. So we grab the puppy and we hop back in my car and we cruise on back over to Michael's house. Now, once we get back to Michael's house, we were greeted there by a kid who we're going to call Danny. Now, Danny is someone who's been in maybe 1 or 2 of my videos a long time ago. Me and this guy were never very close friends. I think him and Michael knew each other better, but Danny was notorious in the area for selling mid. If you needed a consistent supplier of mid that would deliver at any hour, Danny was your fucking guy. This guy would pull up with the 8th bag at like 3 in the morning, not a care in the world. This was your man if you wanted to get a headache. Now, it turns out that he was not there to smoke with us as I thought. I guess Michael and him had already been discussing this little dog exchange for a few days at this point. Because as soon as I get there and as soon as we pull up, he's asking about the dog before we even say anything about it. So I'm like, wait a minute, like, what the fuck is going on here, you know? So Michael hands him the puppy, and he's holding it up, looking at it, and he's like, yeah, you know, I'll take it. He hands Michael some cash, and I later come to find out that he got his ass for $100, bro. Listen, okay? Listen the fuck up, all right? Stop buying dogs, bro. You can go to the shelter, get a free one. If it's not, it's like $20, you know. You can get one of the like funky looking ones, you know, who's got like stinky ears or something, but they're still chill, you know. There's no need to drop a Benji on a dog, all right? But Danny did not view it that way. He was like, yo, I got the puppy, and Michael was saying some shit that was like definitely not true. He's sitting there and he was like, yeah, you know, this dog is like, it's really gonna be intelligent. Like, this is a purebred fucking pit. Like, this dog is really like, I knew from the get-go that I don't know what kind of mix it was, but I know this thing was not purebred, bro. It looked funky, dude. It was like a different kind of dog with a pit bull head on it. It was weird. So I knew right off the rip that this was a finesse exchange. So I just kept my mouth shut and smiled and nodded. You know, I was just, yeah, yeah, hey, that's a pure, hey, award-winning pit right there. Funny thing is, too, I still have Danny on Snapchat. He still has this dog. Like, he still posts the dog all the time. They're living good, bro. Like, this all worked out pretty well, you know? Like, the dog's chilling. He's got it, you know? It was a good scenario for everybody. And also, I don't know if Danny remembers it, but based off his Snapchat stories, yeah, that dog ain't no fucking purebred, dude. No, that thing is fucked up. It looks like Frankenstein, bro. Like, they just attached limbs from different types of dogs for each limb. Like, it's just jarring looking at this creature, but it is cute. So either way, I mean, this was essentially a glorified drug deal, right? This was a very fast exchange, except this time, instead of passing over an eighth bag, it was a dog, right? Literally, Danny never even came in the house, bro. He just plopped the dog in his car and sped the fuck off, and now Michael had $100 more, of which he cut me in on $20 of it just for the ride, and I was like, yo, let's just take our fucking $100, put it together, and buy a bunch of weed, and then we'll split that, right? So we're sitting there, and we're trying to hit up everybody. We're like, yo, who's got us on the best rate for $100? And it turns out that man was going to be Danny, actually. We hit up Danny right after he gave us the money, and we're like, yo, you got any fucking weed? He's like, yeah, bro, like, let me stop home and I got you. So not even 30 minutes later, Danny spins back, bro. He comes back again, and Danny hooked it up. You see, let me tell you something. The prices that we were paying back in high school were asinine, but you got to remember, these were the earlier days, right? These were like 2016, you know, 2017, 2015 even. This was before legalization came around in Illinois. Once legalization came around, prices on good weed went down a lot. Like, yeah, granted, the top shelf shit, they're still charging like 60 an eighth, but decent and good weed is much more accessible now than it ever was when I was still in school. Back in the day, you were paying 40 to 50 an eighth no matter what, unless it was really Reggie. Like, there was no, okay, you know, here's some mid for 25 for the eighth. If you're paying anything below like 35, it's absolute Reggie. It's brick. It was garbage, bro. And that's just how it was for all my friends in high school. We weren't plugged in like that. You know what I'm saying? These kids nowadays got it too easy. You hop on Telegram, you fucking bang somebody's line, and you get some shit to your door. Back in my day, we put in blood, sweat, and tears to get stoned off a 10-sack. So Danny pulls back up, and he served us a nice little half ski. He served us okay, maybe nice isn't the right word, but nice enough half ski, right? He's got us on a nice little half ounce, right? Deal is nice and quick. He hops back in his car and fucking skedaddles. Well, he's got to go take care of his new dog, right? He doesn't have time to chill with us. So now me and Michael we got our weed. We go back upstairs. He's already got all the wraps, and we're divvying up my cut of the weed, which ended up being, if I remember correctly, it was like 3 or 4 grams. We'll say an eighth for the sake of the video. So we start grinding up and rolling up our second blunt of the day, and one that we had been waiting for quite a while at this point. And I asked Michael, I'm like, so are you selling the rest of the dogs or what? And he's like, no, not really. And finally, this is when the beans are spilled to me. He's like, yeah, you know, like, my dad probably won't notice that one. And I'm like, what the fuck do you mean? Like, your dad won't notice that one? And he's like, well, you know, I think my dad was probably going to sell them all, but like, you know, he's got a bunch of them, so it's probably fine. And it turned out to be just fine because Danny still has the dog, and I never really heard about the situation again. So I assume his dad maybe really did just never notice, which, to be fair, from my understanding, the guy was drunk as fuck all the time. So that might explain things. And to my understanding, Michael did not flip the rest of the dogs. I think this was the only incident of it. I don't know. Maybe he did flip them all, dude. I mean, damn. That's something to think about. Animal trafficking. Damn, I was involved in that. That's fucked up. Either way, hey, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Drop a like if you did. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And don't forget to wishlist Narco Wars on Steam today. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, gamers.